already know the security crisis in Nigeria also. Almost every region is battling some groups taking small arms and ammunition and disturbing the peace. From your insight into the Afghan war, what is the Nigerian government not doing right in the fight against insurgency and banditry and kidnapping, which has gone on for more than 10 years?
The issue of insecurity, I mean, I've always said it's insecurity is number one problem in Nigeria. It's always been the number one problem. And until everyone takes it seriously, I don't think they've actually understand to what extent insecurity has actually ravaged this country. If this continuously, as I mentioned earlier, the threat assessment globally is showing that terrorism, as we know it, and extremism has moved away from Southwest Asia and now as headquartered in Africa. No, I mean, of course, we see what's going on in the northeastern part of Nigeria and other part in Mali, in Cameroon, Niger, and all other areas. And so those things, if Nigeria don't push back on this, it will continue to ravage the country with herdsmen killing and whatnot. These are just the beginnings of it. All this banditry and the use of ransom, they are using this money to actually funnel their network. If all these network are not broken and all this banditry are not pretty much sabotage and pretty much caught right and nip in the butt at this moment, Nigeria is going to wake up one morning and realize that their country has been pretty much taken over by extremism. So this is not something that I'm not the prophet of doom telling Nigeria that this is what's going to happen. I'm saying that if this thing is not properly taken care of, Nigeria could be actually possibly ended up like Afghanistan, whereby the extremist organization will take over the country. I mean, there's so many meetings, there's so many parts to it for it to actually take a foothold in Nigeria, but the pattern remains the same. The ammo remains the same. Banditry, kidnapping, using of ransom money to funnel weapons and to do all these kind of atrocities is the same ammo. It's just a different location and different geographical point. But the same thing, I believe the same end state is damning to happen in Nigeria if Nigeria is not properly, if these things are not taken care of. I think what Nigerian government needs to do is to form a coalition with other countries that are involved in this kind of, that they have this kind of extreme organization within their borders and start looking for ways to coordinate. I know this has been done before, but need to invite people as well that have been part of this, that understands this concept of extremism and banditry and able to help you using the lesson learned to be able to combat it.
You rightly point out, the similarities, between, the war in Afghanistan and what is currently happening in Nigeria. And you're right when you say, if not nipped in the bud, it could degenerate into something even more serious, especially as regards the Afghan war. Now, yeah, and you're also right, when you say, those terrorist groups have headquartered here in Africa. I do remember US military officials saying that the problem with insurgency in Nigeria and especially in West Africa has actually gone beyond this region. But
Mhm.
international support, logistics, training, military, and yet we're still in this position because I remember the early part of the insurgency. There was a lot of support coming from the outside, but 10 years later anyone listening outside of Nigeria will think that things are a lot worse, than they currently are. So how can then the country change the narrative? How can we, change things on the ground with practical steps apart from just, forming coalitions with different countries who are also experiencing the same thing?
I'm actually, I will tell you a story. I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but in 2008, Nigerian government actually invited the U.S. Pentagon to help them in the upcoming insurgency. At that particular point in time, Nigeria knew of Boko Haram, no, not known to the whole country by then, and they actually solicited for help. And fortunately, I was part of the crew that was sent to Nigeria to help, and we built a joint task force over there, train Nigerian on counterterrorism. And they were, I mean, it was great. Americans supposed to have supported Nigeria with about $16 million of equipment and training. We brought our own airplane to train Nigerian soldiers. I was part of it. It's not like he said, she said. I was first time in Jaji, cantonment training and whatnot. And then when we left during the selection process, the Navy SEAL came back to continue the training because terrorism at that particular point in time was no-no for America. Any country that wants our support, we supported them. Lo and behold, a year or two down the road, I understand the Nigerian government can't the task force, believing that this task force is too dangerous, they can overthrow the government or whatnot. I don't know what their reasons were, but lo and behold, when they can't the whole thing and the whole insurgency started full gear from there on. And Nigeria has to be actually honest with them. to themselves. Do they really want this thing to end? Because a lot of offers and help have been given to Nigeria. Nigeria has the capability and the capacity to actually make this thing in the board.
What would you suggest?
Like I said, Nigeria, I mean, I believe Nigeria reach out to any other countries that have been part of this before, because nobody wants actually a terrorism to, Nigeria is an equal partner of the West and East. If they reach out like we can, Nigeria hasn't, like you rightfully mentioned, all these assistance that Nigerians have received over the past few years, a lot of these assistance or the country that have assisted have left because Nigeria has not been fully honest with itself of what their role is in this whole process. Like,
Food for thought there, Major Adeleke. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on Afghanistan and, of course, the security situation in your country. Sorry, in your country of origin, Nigeria. Thank you so much for speaking with us, and we're glad to have you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and we'll be reaching out to you, of course, for some more of your thoughts on the situation in the country.
thank you so much, Anrachi. It's always been a pleasure.